What is autism?
That's what Michelle Drake and her husband asked when not one, but all three of her boys shared the symptoms of autism spectrum disorder.
Language delays or odd development of language. Does your child prefer to be playing by themselves or kind of standoffish in a group situations? And then we talked about the sensory, holding ears and flapping hands, and pulls away from touch and hugs.
According to the website autismspeaks.org, autism is a complex group of disorders that affects the brain's development, characterized by difficulties in social interaction, difficulties in verbal and nonverbal communication, and repetitive behaviors.
All autistic children are different. That's why they call it spectrum disorder, because some symptoms are more severe than others. Basically, autistic children sense the world at heightened levels, meaning when you and I see and hear this,
they see and hear this.
Dr. Francesca Costner of the Brain Center says there's no clear-cut cause of autism.
But we kind of suspicious that it's a combination of genetic and environmental factors, such as toxins in our environment. And as our world becomes more toxic, of course we're going to see more cases of developmental disorders, period. If there is autism, you cannot prevent it. It's going to develop in your child, and your child is going to have it.
But there are a lot of things you can do to help, like applied behavior analysis therapy, if your insurance covers it.
ABA is the only therapy that they have found that is very successful for autistic children. It breaks everything down and then it moves at levels that they can understand. It is so sad that no private insurance covers that right now.
It's very time consuming. It requires 15 plus hours a week of therapeutic interventions. It's also very expensive interventions. It's all financial reasons.
So what can parents do to help their child? Actually, a lot. Friday, we'll see how the Drake family and others are coping with autism and moving forward.
At first, you feel like, did I do something wrong? Is there something I could have done to prevent it?
That's what Michelle Drake thought when she realized all three of her boys had autism.
When you get that diagnosis, you realize it's not going to be anything like you thought. And so you have to go through the stages, and finally, hopefully you end up at acceptance.
And acceptance is what she's using to move forward. So what do you do when you have one autistic child, let alone three?
A lot of stimulating activities, puzzles, books. Keep reading for the children. Keep talking, just like if nothing would be going on language-wise.
Sports activities also help.
Baseball. Help with physical development, with social skills, and just coming together as family.
support from families who also have children with special needs, like the monthly support group they have here at the Contact Disability Resource Center, is a crucial first step in dealing with any diagnosis of mental disorder in a positive light.
The first thing I wish somebody would have told me is it's going to be okay. It's going to get easier. If you can find a support group, you can actually build yourself an extended family. You can find yourself a mentor that will help you through the process. And again, getting all the therapies you can, your child will start hitting milestones.
And then you realize that there are some really great aspects to being autistic.
They just become miniature professors, and oftentimes they teach me about things that they are interested in and I have no idea about. And that's just fascinating when you have a 6-year-old teaching you about molecules and the planets.
One of Michelle's twins, Jonathan, is an expert on the universe.
About the planet Uranus.
That has rings and has moons.
As rings, how many moons does it have?
They have 27 of them.
But whether your child has a disability or not, it all comes down to one thing.
I think it goes back to embracing autism, and the ability to embrace it is that children flourish in environments where they are being loved and accepted for who they are.
For WLTZ First News, I'm Paris Holmes.